What is going on, Bucs fans and CFP fans? Evan Wanish here, back at you with yet another video talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And today we are going to be doing yet another draft profile as we quickly get to the NFL draft. It is almost here. We are just days away from the 2024 NFL draft. Cannot wait. But with that being said, we have been doing draft profiles over on bucksnation.com, and I've decided to bring them in video form to you guys. So it's not just me doing it. All my terrific colleagues over at bucksnation.com have been doing these draft profiles for the past month or so. So go check that out all over at bucksnation.com. But today, we're going to be talking about Kentucky running back Ray Davis. Now, I say in the tagline here as well, a back with ties to the coaching staff could be a fit for Tampa Bay. And we'll get into that in a little bit here. But like I said, Ray Davis from Kentucky makes some sense for the Buccaneers. I say with the NFL draft quickly approaching, the Buccaneers are still looking for ways to improve the team ahead of the 2024 season. Or Rashad White took big strides in 2023, and the team brought back Chase Edmonds this offseason. They could always use some interesting depth. That is where Kentucky's Ray Davis comes into play for the Bucs. So with that being said, let's get right into Ray Davis's college career, which is actually very interesting. It is interesting. He's played for 3 different schools since entering college. Davis has had a very interesting career. He first played at the University of Temple. He almost hit 1,000 yards in his freshman season. But then he transferred to Vanderbilt after just 4 games into his sophomore season at Temple. After an injury-riddled 2021 season, Davis finally reached the 1,000-yard milestone in 2022. He finished with 1,042 rushing yards while on 5 rushing touchdowns at Vanderbilt. But following the 2022 season, he decided to play his last year of college football at the University of Kentucky, where he was coached by current Bucs offensive coordinator Liam Cohen. Now, Cohen was the Kentucky offensive coordinator for Davis's last year at Kentucky. That is the connection right there. His first and final year at Kentucky, he come up short of 1,000 yards, but would set a new career high in rushing touchdowns with 12. He also had 5 receiving touchdowns as a Wildcat, showing off his ability to be versatile in both the run and pass game, which honestly, especially in today's NFL, it's pretty valuable. So there is a connection there, though, with the Buccaneers coaching staff, and Liam Cohen knows Ray Davis very well, obviously. So the Bucs will be able to have some inside track on some info, or how he would potentially fit Tampa Bay's offense and what Liam Cohen is looking to do here. So could make a lot of sense. Let's get right into his pro day and scouting combine. At the combine, he recorded a 4.52 40-yard dash, as well as a 1.56 10-yard split, and a 4.51 20-yard shuttle. Participated in a vertical jump and the broad jump as well. At his pro day, he did decide to not run the 40 again, which makes sense. When you get a number you like, you don't like to do that. But instead, he did bench press, actually, which is interesting. You don't always see running backs doing the bench press. He was able to record 21 reps on, and he did a lot of drills with the wide receivers, actually, to show off his receiving skills to NFL teams. So, again, I think showing that he can be versatile. He's not just a one-trick pony. He can be a third down back for you. He can be that bruiser type guy if you need him to be from first and second down. So again, I think brings a lot more to the table than just one thing. What he can do for the Buccaneers in 2024. He wouldn't be the starter in 2024. Okay, I'm not saying that. This isn't a replace Rashad White article, but he would have a role with the Buccaneers in 2024. And I even mentioned that he wouldn't have to be the starter, and that could be a good situation. So pairing him with Rashad White, I think, makes sense. It also helps Rashad White, too. It takes the load off of him a little bit. I think it would help keep him a little bit more fresh as well, especially down the stretch of the season. You start to play, December football, January football, your body, it takes a lot of beating. And I think having Rashad White as fresh as possible heading into, final 6, 5, 4 games of the season, I think makes a lot of sense. And like I said, the Bucs have a lot of inside info on Davis, since Cohen was with him, and that could help them in the draft process. His role would be limited in 2024. And like I said, he would not be the starter, but he would provide some value as a depth piece. Like I said, and if he can contribute as a guy, as a receiver, I mean, I know Rashad White was really good as a receiver in 2023 for the Bucs, but if you can have another guy like that as well to help out, why not? So I think it can make some sense. The 3-year outlook, look, I know a lot of people like Rashad White. The thing is, though, that I even mentioned he may not be on the Bucs forever, right? And based on the history of running backs around the league, it would not be a shock to see the Bucs move on if White's price is too high when it's time to re-sign him. I know we still have 2 years until that time, but this is a 3-year outlook. This is sort of projecting there. And look, we look at running backs around the league; they are, I don't know, want to say replaceable, but the NFL teams, they are disposable a little bit. We just saw Saquon Barkley go from the Giants to the Eagles. We just saw Tony Pollard go from the Cowboys to the Titans. Zeke Elliott went from the Cowboys to the Patriots. Aaron Jones got cut because the Packers signed Josh Jacobs. There's a lot of movement. In the running back market now. Zeke Elliott may go back to the Cowboys. We'll see, but there's a lot of movement in the running back market, and it tells me that running backs in today's NFL, like, teams are hesitant to pay them. So it would not be a shock if Rashad White, when his contract's up, if the price isn't right for the Buccaneers, it wouldn't be a shock if they say, hey, like, we're just going to move on and roll with somebody else. If they have Ray Davis on the team, as I mentioned, as an insurance option, it makes it easier to let White go, especially if Davis has shown signs of being a capable back. So, uh, like I said, there are obviously a lot of things that can happen over the course of the 3 seasons, but Davis has the potential to be an every down back in the NFL. I do think that, given 3 years' time, I think you could see him as Tampa Bay starter in 3 years if he were to be drafted by the Bucs. Let's go to the stock report. Davis's stock appears to be that of a late day 2, possibly early day 3 selection. However, with the Bucs having a later 4th-round pick, if they wanted to draft Davis, they likely would have to do so using one of their 2 third-round picks, which is either pick 89 or pick 92. So they would have to use one of those picks. Most likely, I can't see him being available in the Bucs pick in the 4th round. So maybe you could trade down in the 3rd round. Trade out of the 3rd round there, pick up an extra asset on day 3. Or maybe an asset for 2025 and have an early 4th-round pick and still get him. That's possible, but if they want to stand pat and still get him, you're probably going to have to pick him at either 89 or 92. And honestly, I would probably expect him to be there at that point. We'll see. Obviously, anything can happen, but we will see. The fit is there. We'll have to wait a few weeks. And then let's go to on the clock, which is when I turn it over to you guys. You guys become the GM. What are your thoughts on Ray Davis? It's time for you guys to make the pick. Does the connection to the coaching staff make too much sense? Let us know in the poll below and in the comment section. Like I said, you can go over to bucksnation.com right now and vote in this. As you can see, view results. Let's view the results right now. We have as projected 3rd round, trade up in the 4th round to get him. See if he falls to the Bucs pick in the 4th. Never, he shouldn't be on their board. Like I said, you guys can vote in this poll right now over at bucksnation.com. You can also comment, let us know what you guys think. Let's view the results right here. Okay. Wow, actually kind of surprising. 23% say as projected in the 3rd round, 32 votes. 22 votes, 16% for trade up in the 4th round to get him. But the majority, and then the vast majority, is saying 54% say see if he falls to the Bucs pick in the 4th. So not a ton of Ray Davis fans here. I would say, because it's almost like he wouldn't be bad, but not in the 3rd round, right? So a lot of our voters here are not as high, and we do have 9 votes for he shouldn't even be on their board. So there is a lot of decisiveness here, and a little bit of like parity, I guess you could say, with this. There's sort of a decent amount of votes for each one here, compared to the other polls that we've seen. So again, like I said, a little bit surprising that you could see, see if he falls to the Bucs pick in the 4th is the overwhelming consensus here, but it does make sense. I mean, I understand. I definitely do get it, but it at the same time, I just don't know, if you really want Ray Davis, sure seems like you're going to have to pick him in a 3rd round to make that happen, or have an early 4th round pick. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think about Ray Davis. Do you think he could be a fit with Rashad White? Do you think it makes sense? I do think the Buccaneers should add a running back in the draft at some point. This is a compliment to Rashad White. I think it makes sense. So, but I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. Please let me know in the comment section below on this post. Please also go over to bucksnation.com. Like I said, it is not just me writing the draft profiles. It is the amazing staff and the amazing colleagues I have over there at bucksnation.com talking about all the prospects that you guys have commented on our videos videos, comment on Instagram, talked about in our live chat when we do live shows. All those guys, we've covered them on bucksnation.com. So be sure to go over there and check them out. But thank you all for watching so much. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go Bucs.